A warm greeting of Shana Tova. One of the most moving prayers a warm greeting of Shana Tova, a happy and sweet new year to all the members of the Woodford Forest community. There's something special about a candle in Jewish thought. The verse in, I believe it's Kohelet, says, Ki ner Hashem nishmat Adam. The candle is compared to the soul. And there's a very important reason for this, and that is that a candle, when it's lit, does not become diminished by the fact that it lights other candles. And conversely, when two flames of two candles are put together, they become as if they were one. The nature of a flame is that from different physical parts, the two different candles, the flames join together and become one. Neither diminished when it's separated into two different parts, and also not made larger when it's joined from two into one, because it's essentially all one, essentially united. While our bodies may all be different, our souls are all connected. The Jewish nation all has one Jewish soul in which we're all connected. And so while I sit here in my house and you sit there in yours, and we are socially distant, our bodies may be far apart from each other, the language of song, and particularly the songs and prayers of the high holiday period, are there to bring our souls together, or perhaps to remind us that our souls always were together. And just like the flame of the candle points upwards towards heaven, these songs, these tunes, as well as reminding us that we're all united, no matter how far apart we may be, they also direct us heavenward and help us connect to Hashem, to God. In this video, I'll give you a taste of the tunes that you would have experienced in shul if you were to be able to make it this year. Some of the tunes will be there in shul and you can hear them live, but some of them won't be, and you may not be able to come to shul. So I hope this is somewhat of a replacement. It's certainly not the same as the original, but the opportunity that we have this year with the unfortunate circumstances of the pandemic enable us to utilize other forms of coming together and feeling as one. I'm going to start off with the tune of Rosh Hashanah, the way Rosh Hashanah is introduced, the melody, which is supposed to invoke for us the feeling of entering into a different time, a different emotional sphere, one where we are preparing ourselves to coronate God as our King. And here it is. Tikeyu b'chodesh shofar b'kesel yoim chageinu ki chayk leYisraelu mishpat le'Elohei Yaakov. Many years ago, the question arose in Jewish communities. We know what Jews do, but what do Jews believe? And one of the greatest Jewish philosophers, the Rambam Maimonides, wrote a treatise where he isolated the 13 principal beliefs of Jewish people. We would call it the beliefs of orthodoxy nowadays. And it has become immortalized in the beautiful tune of Yigdal, which over the high holidays period is sung with a particularly lovely and haunting tune. Yigdal Elokim Chai v'yishtabach Nimtza v'yenei sel metziusoi Echad v'yen yachid keyichudoi nelam v'gam ein soif leyachdusoi Ein Eloi demus haguf v'yein oyeguf loi naroi chelav kedushasoi kadmoin lechol davar asher nivera Rishon v'yein reishis l'reishisoi Hinoi Adonai lam l'chol noitzar Yoire gedulasoi u'malchusoi Shefa nevuasoi nesanoi el anshei segulasoi v'sifartoi V'yikom b'Yisrael k'moi she'oid Navi umabit est emunasai Toiras emes nosan leyamoyel Al yad neviyoi neman beisoi Lo yachalif ha'el v'lo yamir dasoi Le'olamim elezulasoi Soife v'yoideyas sareyenu mabit lesoif davar bekadmasai koimeil leish chesed kemifaloi noisein lerashara kerishasai yishlach leketz hayomin Mashiachenu liftois mechake ketz Yeshua soi Meisim yechayeil beroiv chastoi Baruch Adei Shem Teilasoi Meisim yechayeil beroiv chastoi Baruch Adei Shem Teilasoi. A warm greeting of one of the most moving prayers of the Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur service is Unasana Toikef. It was written in extraordinary circumstances by a rabbi who, after a very troubling interaction with the non-Jewish master of that particular shtetl where he lived, ended up being severely injured and requested of the community that he be allowed to utter a prayer before God, before the Aron HaKodesh, before the Holy Ark, just before he passed away. And that is the source of Unasana Toikef. And just like that particular circumstance was very moving, the theme of this prayer is about the moving character of the very day of Rosh Hashanah, in that it's the Yom Hadin, Day of Judgment, when God looks down upon us and decides what our future holds. Unasane toikef kedushas hayoim uva shoifor gadoil yitoka v'koil demama daka yishamam u'malachim yechafezun v'chilur yadam yoichezun v'yoimeru hinei yoim hadin lifkoid al tzvamaraim al tzvamaraim נכבדים וכל בואי עולם יעבר לפניך כי Roye edroi mavir tzoynoi tachas shivtoi kein tavir v'siyis poir v'ovoid nefesh kol chai kva koras roye edroi Mavir tzoynoi tachas shivtoi kein tavir v'sispoir v'simne v'sifkoid nefesh kol chayim v'sachtoich kitzva lechol b'riyeisecho v'sichtoi v'skizar dinam Bereish Hashanah yikasevun v'yoyim tzayim Kippur yechaseimun Bereish Hashanah yikasevun v'yoyim tzayim Kippur yechaseimun Kamo yavrun v'chamo yiboreyu mi yichye umi yamut Bereish Hashanah yikasevun וביים tzayim Kippur yechaseimun Bereish Hashanah yekasevun וביים tzayim Kippur yechaseimun mi v'kitzai umi lovai v'kitzai Mi v'mayim u'mi v'esh mi v'cherem u'mi v'chaya mi v'ra'av u'mi v'tzama bereish Hashanah yekasevun v'yoyim tzayim Kippur yechaseimun bereish Hashanah yekasevun וביום צום כיפור יחסייmun מי ורעש ומי ומגפה מי וחניקה ומי וסקילה Bereish Hashanah
kasevun ubeyim tzayim kippur yechaseimun berosh Hashanah yikasevun ubeyim tzayim kippur yechaseimun mi yanuach mi yanuach mi shaket mi yitaref mi yishalei mi yisyasar mi ani mi asher mi yishafel umi yarom useshuva usefila utzedaka ma'avirin esraya gzera.
Once we focused on the frailty and the insecurity of our own lives, of human life, we now turn to the glorious eternality, unchangingness of the Almighty Himself.
Ein kitzva lishnaisecha v'yein keitz liyairech yamecha v'yein l'sha'er markevois kevoidecha v'yein lefaresh eilom shemecha v'yein lefaresh Elam shemecha shimcha na'eh lecha v'yatana v'eli yishmecha ushmeinu karasa v'yishmecha bam 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 ba-da-da-da-dam Asay leman shemecha v'kadesh es shemecha al makdishei shemecha v'avur kevoy shemecha Hanarot v'nikdosh k'say nesiyach sarfei kodesh hamakdishim shimcha b'kodesh dorei malayim dorei matok kairim v'shalashim v'shilush v'shilush Kedusha kodesh.
Rosh Hashanah is a festival that goes back the furthest into history out of all the Jewish festivals. While we might think that Shabbos is in fact the Jewish day of celebration that goes back all the way to creation itself. One day before Shabbos is when Rosh Hashanah was inaugurated. In fact, the very first man was created on day 6. He sinned by eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And on that day, he also did teshuvah. He repented for his sin. He was judged by God, and he was forgiven. Well, there's more to that story. That was the very first Rosh Hashanah, the 6th day of creation. And in the prayer, Hayoim Haras Elam, that is what we refer to. Today is a day of the creation of the world, in the sense that the world in its full significance, with man in it, and man having been tried with a test and then judged in how he performed, and then trying to deal with his own shortcomings as he stands before God and asks God to accept him. That is what we think about during this prayer.
Hayoim haras oilom, Hayoim yamid b'mishpat, Kol yitzurei oilomim, Im kevanim, Im kavadim, Im kevanim ragameinu kerachem avalbanim, Ve'im kavadim, Eineinu lecha tzeluyos, Ad shedchoneinu v'soitzichor mishpateinu hayoim kadosh. Areshes sefaseinu yerav lefanecha, Keila ram v'nisa, Meivinu mazin mabitu makshiv l'koyote kiyoseinu, Usekabel berachamim uveratzoin, Seider zichroinu eseinu.
There is a tradition that whatever a person asks for on Rosh Hashanah, they have a very good chance that it's going to be granted. And in this spirit, at the end of the Musaf prayer, there is a rather forward and assertive request that we have of God. Today, right now, we want you to strengthen us, to bless us, to exalt us, to seek us out for good, to hear our prayers, to accept our prayers, and to support us in everything we do with your wondrous right hand. Hayoim, 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 teyametzeinu. Hayoim, 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 hayoim tevarecheinu. Hayoim, 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 hayoim tegadeleinu. Hayoim, 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 hayoim tidresheinu leteva. Hayoim, 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 tishma shavoseinu. Hayoim tekabel berachamim uveratzoin es tefiloseinu. Hayoim, 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 hayoim tismechenu. Bimin tzidkecha. We'll now travel forward in time to Yom Kippur. And as we enter Yom Kippur and recite Kol Nidre is about vows. It seems, when one looks at the interpretation of Kol Nidre, that there's simply a rather dry text to this very famous melody. But in truth, the significance of Kol Nidre should not be underestimated. On a simple level, the concept of a person keeping their word, or if they can't keep their word, not simply ignoring their word, but rather going through a process of annulling any vows that they may have made, is something which gets to the heart of what it means to be a good person, somebody who's reliable and trustworthy. On a deeper level, the message of Kol Nidre is directed towards God. Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, was on the borders of Israel, and God had promised that Moses would not be allowed in. And nevertheless, Moses entreated God many times. The explanation is that he understood that when someone makes a promise, there is a way out of getting their vow nullified if they have a good reason of some unforeseen circumstance which disenables them to continue with what they promised they were going to do. Perhaps God would find a way out of his promise. Perhaps Moses could get him to look at things in a different way and, so to speak, annul his vow. And that is what we're asking of Hashem with Kol Nidre. If you've made any promises that don't bear well upon us, please nullify them.
Kol Nidre ve'esorei Ushevuei v'charomei v'koinomei v'kinusei Dein darna Udeish tabana Udeyacharimna Udeyasarno Nafshasana Miyom Kippurim Zeh Ad Yom Kippurim Habaleinu L'toiva Bechol hain Icharat novehoin, Icharat novehoin, Kulehoin yehoin sharon. Kulhan Yehain Sharon Shavikin Shavisin Beteilin Umevutalin Lo Sheririn Vela Kayamin Nidrana Lo Nidrei Vesarana Lo Esarei Yeshivu Asana Yeshivu Asana La Shavuos.
One of the most effective pleas that we have with God is irrespective of anything we've done. We are His special nation. We are His children. He is our God. He is our Father. And this is the theme of Ki Anu Amecha.
Ki anu amecha v'yato Elokeinu anu vanecha v'yato avinu anu avodecha v'yato Adonenu Anu keholecha v'yato chelkeinu Anu nachalasecha v'yato goyroleinu Anu tzoynecha v'yato royeinu Anu charmecha v'yato noitereinu Anu feyulasecha v'yato yoitzereinu Anu rayosecha v'yato doideinu Anu segulasecha v'yato Elokeinu Anu amecha v'yato malkeinu Anu mamirecha v'yato mamireinu.
And finally, the prayer that stirs every Jewish heart, the prayer that expresses that which we all know to be true, which is that our lives are not really in our control. Adonai Olam Asher Malach, God, who is the master of the world, who has ruled for all eternity. B'yodei afkid ruchi, we place our spirit in His hands. Be'es ishan va'ira. When we go to sleep, we're not afraid that we won't wake up. B'imruchi giviyasi, and with my spirits, also my body, Hashem li v'lo yira. God is with me, and I will not be afraid. Adonai Olam Asher Molach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'es Naso B'cheftzoi Kol Azai Melech Shemoi Nikra V'yacharei Kichlois HaKol Levado Yimloich Noira Vehu Ayam Vehu Yiveh Vehu Yiyeh Besifara Vehu Echad Ve'en Shenim Lehamshil Eloi Lehachbira Beli Reishis Beli Sachlis Ve'loi Ha'is Ve'am Yisrael Ve'hu Eli Ve'chai Goyali Ve'tzur Chevli Be'yesara Ve'hu Niseh Oman Islim Enas Koisim Be'yom Ekra Be'yadoi Afkid Ruchi Be'yes Ishan Ve'yahira Ve'yimruchi Geviyasi Adonai li Ve'la ira Adonai lam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'es Nasa B'cheftzoi Kol Azai Melech Shemoi Nikra Adonai Olam. That concludes my presentation.
One sec.
Azai Melech Shemoi Nikra Adonai Olam.
that concludes my presentation. I wish all of you who are watching a Shana Tova U'Metuka, a good and sweet year, and may we all be inscribed for only health, happiness, and good tidings this coming year.
Hi, everyone. So I'll just take everyone off mute a sec, or try to. Oh, I can't. Okay, never mind. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay, so a big thank you to Rabbi Fleischer. You may have worked out that was Blue Peter style, so it's one we made earlier, which is why we accidentally repeated the last 5 seconds there. I think he's possibly somewhere out there, but I will certainly pass on everyone's thanks. And hopefully that's helped get us all in the mood for Rosh Hashanah. And we will, of course, be seeing Rabbi Fleischer on Yom Kippur. This will go out on the website as well. So you'll be able to see it again should you wish to. In the meantime, have a lovely evening, everyone. I'll be putting out my sermon at some point tomorrow afternoon. It will be the same one you're going to hear in shul. So if you're planning to be in shul, don't watch the video. It will spoil it for you.
No, it won't, because I can
There's only
never
so many
hear them
ideas
while
you
in
can
the
have in one go.
school.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you can never hear it too many times.
No, I was
Anyway,
going to say, I was saying that I can never hear it in shul anyway. So it's nice to know that
right.
it's the
I'll
same
try
one.
to. I'll try to. Okay. Well, there'll be fewer people this year, Iris, so hopefully the acoustics will be better.
No, we're
Anyone,
further away
anyway,
from
wish
you.
it. All right. Anyway, let's continue this offline, as they say. I wish everyone a Shana Tova U'Metuka. Best wishes also from Rabbi Fleischer, and I'll pass on everyone's thanks to him. And we hope if we see you over Yom Tov, we look forward to dabbling together. If you're at home, I hope that you find ways to make it meaningful. If there's anything we can do to help, please be in touch before Yom Tov. If anyone's still looking for a shofar blowing and hasn't figured that one out, please be in touch before Yom Tov and we can arrange that as well. And I hope everyone has a lovely couple of days and an inspiring and uplifting new year, and should be inscribed in the book of life for a good, healthy, and safe year.
Oh, please.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself, and I'll leave everyone on if you want to chat for a few minutes.
Rabbi, before you go, or while you're still listening,
yes, I'm still listening.